say to that is we don't sell products and programs. We don't, that's not what we do. We advocate relationships and results, and people can call into question the company. They can call into question Shakeology or Energize or whatever the products are. They can call into question our programs. They can say, man, I can go out and walk or hike or mountain bike or whatever to get that fix or get those endorphins burning. So they can call into question those things, but there's one thing they absolutely have no right to call into question. I guess they have the right to, but there's no validity to it. They can never call into question your heart and your intent. And I think if we as leaders are both ourselves, us at corporate, and even getting this to your teams, keep leading with your hearts. I know it sounds really Disney, which I know Julie's a fan of with Disney, but that can't be overstated. Lead with your heart. You guys have been doing this for years now. Like, it's not just something you're just popping up and saying, hey, look at my workouts. Hey, look at my groups. Like, you've been consistently doing this. You have enough street cred and trust in your networks that people know where your heart is and your intent. If people call it into question, rely on those laurels you got. Rely on your belief in what you're doing, because guys, this is a great, great time to be an entrepreneur. It's a great, great time to have the benefit and blessing of building your business from home and having that flexibility. So let's go out, let's help people, let's take care of, our families and private lives first and foremost always. But man, there's a lot of people that need you, Megan Sigler, that need Sarah Molnar, that need Jess and Lori Meggins and Chris and Sam and Holly and just Kenzie Bone, whoever else is on here. I know I'm missing some, but guys, now's the time to take advantage of this and get this out to people. So with that said, I'm going to shut my trapper. Excited to have on this Ask Me Anything call. You guys bring the questions. You can put them in the chat, unmute yourselves, ask Julie. It's an Ask Me Anything call. So Julie Voris, 10-time repeat elite coach. Okay. One of the few to ever do it. There's only one other person I think has ever done it. She's a superstar diamond coach, member of the Million Club, loyal, just awesome leader of our Indiana Market Council for years. She's just a phenomenal individual. I'm not going to go through all of her accolades. You guys know how good she is, but man, she gets it. And that's why I'm excited to have her on here to just share some of her insight and field any questions you got. So we'll go for about 20, 25 minutes on this. But before we get to the questions, Julie, I don't know if there's anything you wanted to share, any thoughts you have, just kind of seeing us through some interesting times, transferring over to Beachbody On Demand and all that. So
yes, I have.
Go ahead, and if you got anything before we start.
I was thinking about, what you were just saying, and I just did, I do a Facebook Live on my team page every Wednesday, and then I did another one on Friday as everything is changing day by day, minute by minute, day by day, everything keeps changing. And I just kept saying to my team, you have to be the light. You have to be the light. And nothing ticks me off more than the message from someone's like, you're just trying to make money. No, actually, if you go back on my freaking time hop, this is exactly what I was saying 6 weeks ago, 6 months ago, 6 years ago. So the fact that someone else is stressed and anxious is not a reflection on what we're sharing now. It's more a reflection on them. So all we can do is be the navigator. We have these incredible tools right now that will help people feel better physically and mentally, mostly mentally right now, seriously, a lot mentally. And to get those in the hands of people to help us all sort of navigate and find some calm and some center and some grounding, man, if someone wants to come after me that I'm just trying to make money, I'm here we're gonna fight, because that's just so much them and not who any of us are. Now, that being said, I also told my team last week that if I see you put some funny little meme about toilet paper on social media, I will come for you. Stop that. No, we are the light for people. We are the positivity for people. We're the positive influence. We're the calming. We're the grounding. Let's not make light of this. Let's not share information that's not factual. But the beautiful opportunity that we have right now is just to be the navigator for people, which is the same opportunity that we have all the time. Because people feel like health and fitness is so hard, like it's this vast forest, this overwhelming forest, and we have the map. We have it, that we can help them. And that's never more true than right now, because now we can help them not just on their weight loss journey, their physical journey, but now we have these incredible tools to help them on their mental journey as well. So think of yourselves as the navigator. as the guide map, as the light, and just keep holding true to that. And if you're putting something out there that feels icky, and that you're not doing that. You also know if your coaches are, and sometimes they're doing it unintentionally, and that you need to step up and, kind of shut that down and have a talk with them. But what an amazing opportunity we have right now with people's hearts and minds that might be a little bit more open than they have been before, because all of a sudden they start to realize how important it is to have options in your life. I teach classes. I came from fitness. I teach classes. I take classes. I work out at home. We need options in our life. And depending on one option rather than, having lots of options, that's not a healthy fit lifestyle. That's what's happening right now to a lot of people who, well, if I can't get to the why, then I can't, get fit. We got to give them options. Hey, Jesse, would you bring me one? I know she hates this. I make her do this for me every time. This is what, so I have many of these. This is what you are. Okay, from now on. I have multiple of these. I can show you all kinds of Disney wands that I have from all my Disney trips. This is your visual. This is what you are. You are the guide. Yeah, you would like to have this, wouldn't you? No, you cannot have this. No. I have lots of little kids who come to my house who would like to take this home. No, you may not. These belong to me. This is the visual I want you to have in your mind when you are posting, when you are sharing, when you are talking. This is what you are. You are that person carrying the flag when you see the tour groups walking through Disney or wherever. You are that person. We are that person. We get to be that person right now that's taking people through this craziness of talk about into the unknown, Frozen 2. I mean, that's where we all are right now. That's where we all are. And you get to be the guide map. You don't all get to have a Tinkerbell wand, but if you do, I suggest you use it and make a post about it and talk about it. But this is your visual. This is what I want you to be, the person who's carrying the light for other people, because there's a lot of people who aren't. We get to be that.
I love it, Julie. And if I didn't have to get up and go out of the other room and find in the toy chest,
you have one too?
I have one too. So it may not be that bedazzled, but I'll get my Disney wand out today.
Oh, Jeff, you have no idea the collection I have upstairs of these wands. My husband's always like, really? What are we doing? I'm like, no, they're very important.
I'm sure that if you don't know, guys, and then we'll get to the questions here. But Julie's husband is a collegiate coach. Okay, he coaches football at Butler University. Which, by the way, Julie, I don't want to show off, but now everyone's like, "Why are you stripping on a live call?" But
yes.
I wore the dog's gear just for you today. But I'm sure he uses those in practice too, those wands. So.
Well, speaking of him being a football coach, and we're talking about, life being different for everyone, how amazing is it that we get to still have our jobs? Because here's my husband trying to figure out spring ball. There's no spring practice right now. Well, guess what that affects? Recruiting in May. And guess what that affects? Camps in the summer. And guess what that affects? The schedule that starts in August. So the ripple effect that other people's jobs have to deal with that we might not. I think about when I was a high school English teacher, and I don't know what the protocol would have been for something like this, but I doubt it would have been as much in my control as this job is. And then I think about when I moved into teaching fitness full time. I was teaching 12 or 15 classes a week, which is way too many, and a master trainer on the weekends. And if I didn't show up to teach, I wasn't getting paid. I didn't teach my class this morning at the YMCA. I don't get paid for that. I don't get paid just because it's, this is what's going on. And here we are with this incredible opportunity that we get to help others feel better physically and mentally. And it's all in our control. So remember that. And let's not take that for granted either. It's a pretty amazing thing that we have right here in our hands.
I dig it. Thanks for that. Really appreciate it. And I think it's something that, again, we as leaders, we gotta tell ourselves over the next little bit, but make sure that we're taking that to our teams, that message, because man, there's a really good, unique opportunity to help some people. So
hi, Amy Silverman. I didn't know she was on here, but I saw your post in the roundtable too. I'm like, dude, come on. I had someone message me yesterday. She's like, why aren't you teaching class at the Y tomorrow? I'm like, because I have 100 people in class and it's a group exercise class and that's irresponsible. Go home. And she's like, well, my kids are home and my husband's home and I'm home from work and our cruise was canceled. I'm like, yeah, your frustration is not stay home. Let me give you an option, stay home. So the heightened anxiety and stress and fear of the unknown that everyone is feeling right now is going to cause them to kind of come at other people who are trying to be positive. And you just got to turn that light on, baby. Turn that light on. That's why you do personal development. That's why you have a community and a team.
We'll dig it. So let's open this thing up, guys. I have questions that I want to know, but I don't want to ask them. I've got them here in case people are like, well, let's see what Jeff's got. But any questions you have for Julie about the business, about the launch, about her, it doesn't matter. This is a free forum. You can hit her with anything. She's got some great street cred to give you. So anybody, feel free to drop in the chat. You can just unmute yourself and ask it too. So I'll open it up now.
Hey, Julie, it's Amy. Sorry, I'm like washing my face and stuff, so I'm going to leave the video off for a minute.
Hi, Amy.
Hi. So, okay. So I wanted to kind of go into a little bit more on that, what I was just posting in the chat. So I've never really struggled with like haters or like caring people thought about me until I became a mom. I don't know, it sounds crazy, but like my hormones, especially being pregnant, I'm like all over the place all the time. I'm even like gonna cry just saying this. And I don't know why, but when I get these messages, they just really affect me. And I know I do personal development. I do everything I need to do every day. I'm really, really good about like my mindset. But it really, oh shit, hold on. That was Kevin. It really makes me question like how I'm saying things. What I'm saying, it's really difficult sometimes, especially, oh my God, I'm sorry. He's at the grocery store and he's like FaceTiming me to pick out the dry food I want. So it's, I question myself. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you guys. Let me just close that out. But anyway, I question myself sometimes and I just, let me just pick it up on my phone. Hold on a second, baby. I'm on a leadership call.
I love it.
So yeah, anyway, so it even like I've been in this for like 10 years, like right alongside you. And it's still like I did my stories last night and I tried to make it about other things besides the business opportunity. But it's like I feel like just like you said, no matter what, like people are going to take their aggression out on people being positive. So from your point of view, like what do you think is okay to talk about on our stories and in terms of like the business opportunity right now and what we have, like the opportunity in general and everything? Should we just double down on the fitness? Should we just double down on the health and not talk about the business opportunity at all? Like how do you think we can go about it in a sensitive way, but also be able to get our message across and help people? Because that's just really what I'm struggling with right now, because no matter what I say, I'm questioning myself.
Well, I would guess, yeah, and I think we're all feeling that way. And here's the thing, I think that's what good coaches feel. I think not really good coaches are like, I'm just going to put the link to my, site up here, and they don't even care, So I think good coaches struggle with that. So I think it's a testament that when you feel that way, it means you care about people, and then it becomes sort of hurtful why other people can't see that you truly care about people. And I think that's true for all of us. I would venture a guess that everyone on this call has been a coach more than a year, has been a coach a couple of years. And like me, if you looked back at your time hop, you're probably saying the same thing now that you were saying 6 months ago, a year ago, 12 months ago. And I was really strong about that last night on my stories, or yesterday morning on my stories when I was making my Energize, whatever. I'm like, listen, if you have been following, if we've been friends at all, you know how passionate I am about having options. I've been talking about it for 20 years. And I think that there's some real validity to sharing that. Like I have been sharing these tools for however many years because I so strongly believe that they work, and circumstances in the world don't change my belief that these programs and products work. Period. We all need community, period. And I've been sharing the same message for however long you've been sharing it. I think that's super important to really touch on, that this has been my message, and world events being what they are, my message isn't going to change. In fact, I'm probably going to turn the volume up on it, actually. And maybe even just coming out and saying that, I think, and the people that are, I think, coming at any of us are just looking for anyone to come at anyway. So it happens to be us. In fact, I went over to the girl. I did have a girl who messaged me. She's like, why are you talking about Beachbody on Demand? People don't have any money to spend right now. Shame on you. Take that down. So of course I go over to her profile and she's got 28 followers. I'm like, yeah, what are you doing? Like, how are you even showing up on my feed? Like, who are you? You've never even had an interaction. Why are you messaging me now? Like, that would literally be like walking down the streets of New York and seeing a stranger across the sidewalk and going, take that post down. Like, what would you do? Like, we would all go, wacko, and we keep on walking, right? If that happened in real life. But somehow, because it happens on social, we're like, oh, I have to really look at what I'm. You would not think twice about it if it happened on the sidewalk on the streets of New York. You'd be like, that person's whack, and you'd keep right on walking. So kind of think about it like that. You know, are you giving someone that you don't even know any power over what you're doing in your life? Does that person pay your bills? No, they do not. So they don't get any space in my head whatsoever. And I felt badly for that woman who messaged me about not teaching. You know, she's like, why are you teaching? You know, all these things that happened in my life. And I just looked at her message and I thought, oh, she's so stressed right now. She's so stressed, you know, and I just messaged her back. I'm like, yeah, it's just not responsible for me as a group fitness instructor to be teaching group fitness right now. And I understand that you've had a lot of cancellations and things are a little wonky right now. Me too. I have 2 girls home doing online learning right now, a husband who can't figure out what's going to happen with his job in the fall. All our trips, like the silver lining in this is we're all going through it. You know, we're all going through it. Everything is the same for everyone. Everything's been canceled. Everyone's canceled their trips. Where all the kids are home, we're all going through it. And we're all just trying to figure it out. And because we don't know what's going on, it feels like, you know, there's just double the stress and whatever. And all we can do is go, okay, I know what my intent is. I know what my heart is. I know what I'm trying to do, and keep doing that. And I would literally say on your stories, on somewhere, I think all of us need to say that. You know what? I've been saying the same message for 10 years. I wholeheartedly believe in these products and programs. They've changed my life. I know they can do the same for you. And I think they might even be even more beneficial right now when we're all extra stressed. So I'm not going to stop talking about it. I always say I'm not going to stop inviting. I'm never going to stop inviting because someone invited me and my life changed. So I'm never going to stop inviting. And whether you accept my invitation is not my responsibility. My responsibility is I cannot stop inviting because someone invited me and my life changed. And if they hadn't, I literally cannot even imagine what our lives would be like right now. So because someone invited me, I have to keep inviting. That's my responsibility. What someone perceives or receives, that's not my responsibility, only that my life has changed because of it. So if I keep that in the forefront of my mind, and don't spend a lot of time scrolling around on social media, then all is right with the world, really. You know, the people I have to take care of first and foremost are the other people who share my initials and live in this house. And after that, you know, if they're okay, because I can tell you one thing, if you have teenagers and you put something weird out on social, those girls are gonna be the first ones to tell me that was weird and I need to take that down. So as long as everybody who also shares the JV initials in my house is okay, I'm pretty much okay. And that's kind of my guide as well.
So I think we need to get the Voris daughters to kind of spot check all of our posts and keep us in line. Make sure that we're hip, that we're cool. So talk,
what's exciting to the coaching opportunity look like for you right now? Samantha, I'm really focusing on the 10 rounds launch and then tying that in with, well, to get that launch, to get that program, you've got to, you know, you can be a preferred customer. The word coach, and I know the whole story, why Carl chose coach instead of distributor, representative, blah, blah, blah. I know that. But the whole coachy thing scares people off. So I do, when people message me like I want in, I'm like, awesome. So you can be, you know, a coach or what I call preferred customer right now. And so that's really how I'm messaging it. I'm not concentrating too much on what to do with it right now. That feels like another layer for people of stuff to think about. But to get this program in their lives and to give them something that lets them punch and kick out their frustrations, I really try to message, you know, you're just going to come in as a preferred customer. And then if at some point you choose to do something with the business, at that point, we'll talk about it then. And as long as they're in my team page and they're on my emails and I am messaging them and I'm making sure that they've got the info in their inbox, and I'm, setting up a one-on-one with them and we're having a conversation, it doesn't matter if they come on and tell me whether they want to be a working coach or a not working coach. Everyone's going to do with the business what they choose to do with the business. And I think we get caught up in this whole, working coach. I'm looking for working coaches. Well, if you would have recruited me from the get-go and watched me for the first 8 months of my coaching journey, you would not have thought that I was a working coach, because I didn't do anything with it for 8 months. So we never know when the light bulb's going to flip on for somebody, or when they're going to take off, or when something's going to connect with them and they truly understand the potential. I just think it's important to get them into our ecosystem and let them get those products and programs at the best price, especially now. Get them into adding that extra layer of accountability. They're not only going into our challenge tracker app, but they're also in our team page. Get them surrounded by more positive people and just bring them in. That way I'm not really messaging it like, earn some money from home, but that's just me. I always lead with the fitness first. So, because that's who I am. You got to do what feels right for you. More business-minded coaches might lead with it in a business aspect. I'm a fitness-first kind of person and always have been. Adding to your network that is bringing you your people. What do you notice brings those people to your page to stay? Yes, video, and more video. Video all day long. IGTV all day long. Not to be weird about it, but that's kind of my wheelhouse. I would rather do a video because I think personally, and you guys might have some of the same issue too, I get a lot of, because I love fitness so much and because I like working out, people sometimes find that intimidating. So people will find, they think that I'm an intimidating kind of person, but then when they see and hear me on video, it changes the story. So I think that IGTV is crucial because you can get on there and you can share your heart with someone and you can talk and they can hear your intent. And I have been really working on sharing more value. I forget that the stuff that we just know is the stuff other people don't know. So when you find yourself thinking like, oh, you didn't know that? That's an IGTV topic. Oh, what do you mean? You didn't know that? Oh, that's an IGTV topic, because you know that and that's second nature to you, and a lot of people don't. So whatever it might be, whether it's a recipe or the way you make your shake or however you work out, whatever it might be, the fact that I added, which Jeff, I got this in Utah from adding the vitamin C into my Energize. People are fascinated by that. It's a packet of vitamin C, people. I added to my Energize. You would think that I said, I don't even know what, there's gold in it or something. I don't know, but they put it on my story every morning. I put it on my story every morning. I think IGTV is the place where people can truly know. And I think that also then decreases some of the crappy comments that we might get, just because it's really hard to argue with someone's heart when it's coming through on video. When you write a post, someone can interpret that any way they want. But when I am talking and it is really obvious that this is my passion and my purpose and my heart, whether they believe that this is an option for them or not, it's hard to argue with someone's heart. So that's where I think video is super important. And that's where I find a lot of people are kind of finding me, because I'm doing more video. And then when they watch it, they get to know me. And then they're like, oh, well, she just continues to, it's like, I just never go away. Like, that's what you want to be. You want to be the person who just never goes away. I'm just, there I am every morning, making my Energize, holding up my Tinkerbell wand, getting ready to work out. I just don't ever go away. And that's kind of what you want to be, especially now. So that as people are like, well, I've always just belonged to a gym, and now all of a sudden they can't. And here we were, just never going away, just always showing up. And we become that resource for people. So that's kind of how I'm finding people, is they're watching my IGTVs and my stories, because I just keep showing up. I hope that helps, Samantha.
Yeah, that was solid. And following, I think this next question, you're going to be able to speak well to, guys. Just knowing where your situation was last September, October, in regards to pushing for some of those things. So Samantha in the chat just asked, what do you do for your coaches on the brink of diamond / pushing for diamond, when some of the traditional incentives, whether it's a cash pool or trips or prizes don't really push them, or when they're so close that they lose steam. Just so you guys know, Julie faced this with her push to elite for the 10th time this year. I think she'll have some good insight on that. So take it away.
So last year, okay. Boy, there's a lot of context in this. I mean, nobody has time for my entire life story, right? But, this business, like life, has seasons where everything's like in flow and seasons where everything's kind of not. But I strongly believe that you show up, and you show up well, and you show up, especially when it's inconvenient, you just show up. Like, that has always been my superpower. I just show up. So we had kind of a challenging year in our family, 2017, 2018, just a lot of stuff going on in our family. And I felt like I was kind of just trying to keep my head above water. And of course, as a leader, then your team sort of reflects that. And we hit elite because that's what we do. It's just what we do. And we got to a place in 2019 in October where Doug Moss called me and was like, so it was something dumb. Like, what was it, Jeff? It was like 60 points or something. Like, it was ridiculous. Like, I just was not showing up as well as I could have been, as well as I should be. And I wasn't showing up to the degree that my team deserved. And shame on me for that. And I was also telling myself a story that really wasn't true. And that shows the power of the dialogue that happens in our head. I had always told myself I wasn't a very good recruiter. had always told myself that I wasn't a very high success club, earner, and blah, 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 blah. And somewhere in mid-October, when I realized that I was just not being the leader that my team deserved, and I really wasn't being the person, I wasn't living into the potential. We all have our gifts and we all have our potential. I just wasn't living into that. I decided that I was going to do everything I could so that on December 31st, whether we ended elite or not, I had done everything I could. So we kicked it into high gear, and lo and behold, I can be a high recruiter and I can earn high success club points when I change the story that I'm telling myself. So it's interesting how much power that has. I had to change the story that I was telling myself. And these new coaches that have come on now have fueled our team so strongly because I have changed the story that I'm telling myself. I have changed how I'm leading my team because they deserve better. They deserve more. I've lifted the lid on my own leadership. That in January, we were number 6. In February, we were number 14. And we've got another diamond scheduled to break this Thursday. And they are on fire because I am on fire. And that has nothing to do with incentives or trips or anything. Because I've done those. I've done the diamonds to Disney. I've done the trip. I took my diamonds up to see Hamilton in Chicago. I've done all of that. Nothing fires your team up more than you. Period. I believe that because I've been doing this 12 years and I've done a lot of trips and I've done a lot of incentives. And I've done that because gift giving is my love language. So if you send out one invite, I'm like, I should give you a gift, so I am a gift giver. I do the trips. I love that stuff. That's just what I do. Nothing fires your team up more than you. Nothing fires your team up more than your fire. They will catch your fire, which has nothing to do with a trip or an incentive or a push or whatever, and everything to do with your presence. And if you have not read the book, Ride of a Lifetime, by Bob Iger, I've been recommending it since last September. And one of the phrases that he uses, he was the CEO of the Disney Corporation. And one of the phrases that he uses is called being on property. You need to be on property. And that came from Walt Disney himself, who used to walk Disneyland, walk on property. And Bob Iger took that, philosophically and said he had to be on property. He had to be present with his team. So think about that. How often are you present in your team page? How many one-on-ones are you doing? How accessible are you to them? And I know different coaches have different philosophies. I don't agree with the whole, you got to be diamond to get my time and blah, blah, blah. No, how can they even get to diamond if they don't get your time? They need you. They need to know that you're on property. Walt Disney walked through Disneyland and picked up trash. We can't have a one-on-one with our coaches? Are you kidding me? I think you got to be on property. And that is more powerful to me and to my team, and you maybe to yours as well, than any trip or any incentive. Which isn't to say that those things aren't cool too, but they don't replace you. Your fire and your presence will turn them on more than the trip seems far away, but you and your team page every day, transferring your belief, waving a wand every day, I'm telling you that turns them on more than anything, because you believe in this business. You know it works. They're still trying to figure out if it does. They need you telling them that every single day. Live, if that's what it takes, because that time that you're with them, and then those one-on-ones where they get you, I think is more powerful than anything else you can do. So when we're talking about diamonds and star diamonds and they need you. They just do. I think that's our job. They need you.
So I've got a follow-up question to that, because I work with leaders all the time. Well, for the most part, right? I just take naps in my office. We all know that. But I work with leaders all the time that have been doing this a while, and I look on this call right now, and maybe and this is not a knock on anyone, but maybe with the exception of Kenzie Bone, I think Kenzie's been a coach like 2 years, maybe. I might be wrong on that, but like a lot of us on this call have been doing this a while in terms of coach life, right? 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, 7 years.
12 years.
12 with Julie, right? In terms of the entrepreneur mindset, though, we're all just getting started. We really are. It takes a long time to build a legacy business. But let me ask you this. When leaders hit that wall of, man, I'm trying everything. I'm burned out. I'm losing some of that fire that I need to exude to my team. Have you seen something that you've done before that to get you out of that funk, or something that sparks you so that you are able to go spark them? Does that make sense?
Usually it's a couple different pieces that come together. And I also don't think you can force it. I think you can do the habits and dig into the habits, but you can't force the magic, But first and foremost, it's mindset and story. It's mindset and story that you're telling yourself. It is okay to get, my husband gets a little, I'm sure, bored of color coding game plans every week and doing that's the stuff that has to be done. He never gets bored of coaching his players. I never get bored, and you never get bored of watching your coaches succeed, right? So let's focus more on that, and let's not focus so much on the stuff that feels a little routine or rote. And if it feels like it's routine or rote, then, I just said to one of my coaches not that long ago that it's so important to have fun in this business. And guess what? That's a choice that we make every day. If you're not having fun in your business, why? Why aren't you? Are your challenge groups not fun? Well, fix them. They're yours. Is your team group not fired up? Is your team page not fired up? Well, fix it. It's yours. Do you not enjoy your fitness? Change your program. Are you tired of your Shakeology flavor? Change it. Are you tired of getting up on Instagram stories and saying stuff? Well, then change it. That's the beauty of being an entrepreneur, especially in this business. We get to change it all the time. If you're bored, change it. Change it. Don't complain about it. Change it. And I find that it's usually the marriage of a program and a book. A program and a book. It was Insanity Max 30, and it was 21 Laws of Leadership. And it was, The Work, and then it was Bob Iger's Ride of a Lifetime. And it was, I can go back and I can find, it was a program and a book, and it was a program and a book, and it was a decision to change the energy. It's a mindset, it's a decision, it's a story that we tell ourselves. If you tell yourself you are burned out, guess what? You're burned out. Tell yourself you're tired, you'll be tired. Tell yourself that you're not a high recruiter or don't get high success club numbers, that's your reality. Change the story, you change your business. It really is that simple. It doesn't mean it's easy, but it really is that simple. So it's really hard for me to have this burned out feeling, because just about the time you're like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Oh, here's 10 rounds. And then about the time we're done with 10 rounds is, here's Dallas's new program. We don't even really know much about it, but I know it's her and it's cool. Okay. And then we'll get to Summit, and then there'll be another new program. And then there'll be a new flavor of Energize. And then it'll be this, and then it'll be this, and it'll be this. And where I don't understand where it is to be bored. Do you know what was kind of boring? Teaching Shakespeare to seniors for a lot of years. Sometimes that was kind of boring. Like freaking Henry V, come on, let's go. It's cool. That's something, that's the same thing every year. This is different every single day. And every time you bring on a new coach and they're lit up in a different way and they're so excited about the business in a different way, and you have a conversation with them and all of a sudden you see that light bulb turn on and the potential, they start to get it. You're like, it's wild. I mean, I will do 3 hours of masterminds this afternoon and love every single minute of it, because to watch them and watch that light bulb turn on for them, it's everything. It's like your kids. So it's like everything. So I just don't really get burned out, because I've learned after 12 years what starts to cause that, I start to recognize that a little faster, and then put some if I'm not doing a program that I love, for me, as I said before, I'm so fitness first. Let's just say it right now, Country Heat. I'm sorry, I just couldn't do it. Like I was just not excited about my fitness right there. I had to change my program. Not excited about my fitness. For someone else, it was their soulmate, and it turned them on and it changed their business, So if I'm not excited about my fitness, I'm probably not going to be excited about my business. That's me. For someone else, it might be something else. But you got to know that. You got to be self-aware. That's the key piece of this business, is your self-awareness. And I just think the more connected you are to your team and watching them start to, unleash their potential a little bit, I just find that to be endlessly exciting and inspiring. And if you don't have those coaches, then that's your quest. That's the constant quest, isn't it? To find those coaches and then to share your belief in this, so you see them catch your fire and start to be on fire themselves, and then you get to also catch their fire. So it's this constant synergy of keeping each other lit up. So I just don't see how you get burnt out.
And there's the wand again. There's actually a couple questions. Sarah Molnar actually just wants to vocalize hers, and then Megan's got another question. So Sarah, we'll let you go.
Well, just first of all, the wand. All my girls were like, let me see the wand. I have 4 kids at home right now.
Everybody needs a wand.
Oh my God, I need something. I need Jesus. But just kind of circling back. Well, first I was in Country Heat's test group, so I feel you, but I embraced it and I got new people on, and then I ended it, and that was that.
And if you get somebody off the couch, I'm all for it.
Amen, right?
Yes.
So I kind of had a unique situation just coming up from the beginning of the call when Amy, we got the hate and all that stuff. And so I had a scheduled flash sale starting today, like before this all went down, trying to solidify Success Club for my coaches, brand new program, all this stuff. And I kept circling around, God, do I still do it? Is it icky? Whatever. So I was prepping it in my stories and online, and I never bashed the gym. I used to be a personal trainer, so I worked there. We all know it's dirty. Everybody knows. So just to give something, it's blowing up because people realize they need an at-home solution. And I prefaced it in my team page, like, guys, don't bash the gym. Don't bash spinning. Don't bash OTF. Say, guys, I understand we are in a pickle right now. And it's probably not the best idea to go to a gym. So why not do this in the interim?
Right.
So it wasn't like, do this, not that. It was more just put this in right now.
It's always and.
Yeah. Yes. And I just wanted to give just some to say, people are loving it. And I had so many people message me because of what Julie said, showing up, and they know I'm at home doing it, but also the fact of wanting to kind of build a business in this month. Could you help me sign up? My sister, could you help me with my friend? So I started talking about that, like grab a friend, grab whoever you want, because this is an icky time, but it doesn't mean that it has to be a bad time, that we can still, it's going to be uncomfortable for all you people that said you can't work out at home. Guess what? You're going to have to, because we don't have a choice, so let's show up for 30 days. Let's see what happens. And maybe they'll continue on the supplementation. Maybe they'll find that ab workout that they love, that it's not an all or nothing, and that we're here to really help and not convince. That's just what I've helped my team, just not to be like, looks like you can't go to the gym now, huh? I don't want to do that. I want it to be like, so guys, I'm here to help you. I get it. The gym is closed. It sucks. Yes. So if you want to maintain your results or continue your journey, and the flash sale is really, I haven't gotten any negativity yet, because I think they knew that we came from a source of, we're here to help if you want to, and we get it, and this time is awful. So just wanted to put that out there, that it doesn't have to be a negative thing. Like, ooh, I'm gonna, like, I would never be like, ooh, the coronavirus is here, can't go anywhere, better do on him. Like, don't capitalize on that. Just capitalize on the fact that we're all going through this, and we want to kind of join together.
And if you have older kids too, like my girls are using, like everyone in my family will be using Beachbody on demand today. Teenagers need to work out just like everybody else does, you know, and little ones need to get some movement in too. And so the fact that everyone can have this family gym membership for $99 is a beautiful tool. And like you said, whether they continue on it or not later, what's really cool is giving them a positive feeling about Beachbody. So at some point, maybe they come back, or even, you know, just having them go out into the world and go, you know, in a time when I really needed it, man, that Beachbody girl, she was awesome. So I think that's important too, is just giving people that positive feeling, that positive vibe about who we are and what we do. Because I told my team last week, like, you know, if you post something memey or what you think is funny, kind of making light of this, they're not looking at you at your name. They were looking at you, Beachbody coach, network marketer. They're not looking at you with your name. So now this is a bigger picture than just, you know, who you are. So let's let people have a positive feeling about who we are and what we do. Yes, the wand should be your future Success Club prize.
And there's a question right before that. So Megan's got a question. I know there's one more, and then we'll wrap up here pretty quick. So Megan asked, the wand should be a prize. That's true. Have you experienced a time in your business where you built a great team and then everyone kind of left the nest, whether they're being their own Star Diamond teams or going off with success partners, and you've had to rebuild? Like, how do you get back into that? Megan kind of feels like an empty nester and not sure how to get her team back.
You don't need your team back. You need a new team, because when my husband has a team and that team wins the conference championship, those seniors graduate. So the next year we have a new team. And then we might not win the conference championship. It might be a couple of years. And then he's trying to put together another team to win the conference championship or win the playoffs or do whatever. So you're not trying to rebuild your old team. That was your team that graduated. You're trying to create a new team. That's where the magic is. That's where you find these new people with this new energy. Because I don't know about how many of you, but sometimes I go into my veteran coach message thread and I say something and it's like crickets, like they don't even respond. And then I go to my new coach thread. I'm like, hey, does anyone want to show up for a mastermind today? And they're like, yes, what time? I'm like, and that's where I'm spending my time, right there. So it's not that you're trying to rebuild your old team. You just get to build a new one, which is far more exciting and far more magical and far more energy creating, and trying to drag these people along. And then what will happen is the ones that your lifers over here, because we all have some lifers, they will be set on fire by these new coaches. They will be set on fire by these new coaches. And if they're not really a lifer, and that's okay, because now you got them. You need new coaches. That will solve the problem. Don't try to rebuild. Just build. My husband can never rebuild the team that went to the playoffs and won the playoff game, and first time ever in Butler history. Like, we will never rebuild that team. So every year we're recruiting to create another team that's going to go win the conference championship. It's going to go to the playoffs. That's just, so this business isn't any different than that.
Awesome. So we'll wrap up here, guys, are there any other kind of last minute questions, or if someone didn't get a chance to ask it, feel free to ask now or forever hold your peace. But let's get those out. And if not, we'll wrap up here. So anyone else have one? Julie Voris, I think you're off the Ask Me Anything hot seat. Guys, some good content, some great suggestions. Julie, we appreciate your fire. And guys, like I mentioned at the top of the call, I think there's only a few on. Just know how much myself, the rest of the team out here in Utah, Santa Monica, we all appreciate you. We know what you guys are doing, the work it takes, but man, just the long-term residual results and benefits that can come from it. So thank you for what you're doing. Reach out to me if you need anything. As always, and Julie, thank you so much. Now,
Be the light.
Be the light. Everyone get your magic wands. Next week, there wasn't going to be a call because of the SC trip, so I may try to arrange something. I'll keep you guys posted. But just so you guys know, the week after that, we're going to be having a couple special guests. So on March 30th, we're going to have Kim Carver coming on. And he's got a fun little mindset training he's going to be doing with you guys, something he hasn't shared before. So that'll be good. And then the week after that, which I believe is April 6th, the Monday, a lot of you guys have been talking, hey, I want to talk volume. I want to talk some different ideas with volume and placement. And there's so many ways to do that, guys. And several of you, I know we've done one-on-ones, drawing out your organizations and things, which is great. But I'm having Steve Innes come on the call April 6th. He has some great insight on some placement strategies, additional business centers, how to leverage those to maximize income potential. After that, we've got Jen Guthrie, who's going to come on and talk about recruiting out of challenge groups and recruiting out of Instagram. She's one of the best at it, phenomenal individual. And then we have some others lined up after that, but I'm not going to tell you yet. So keep coming to these calls, share with the other leaders. Appreciate you guys. Let me know if you need anything. All right. We'll talk soon. Thanks again, Julie.
Thank you.